Any questions, please? Yes? Is it working or is it directional? Good, now let's start, please.
My question is that in Bosnia, for the glad tidings for Ahmadiyyat, how many Bosnians have accepted Islam, Ahmadiyyat?
Well, it's an ongoing process. I can't tell you exactly the number as it prevails today, this moment, but it's an ongoing process. I know that definitely that the number so far is more than 12,000 or a bit more. I'm on the conservative side. But this year, because of the Bosnians who have become so enthusiastic in spreading the message to the Bosnians, I hope the number would rise many times, inshallah. And it's not just the Bosnians alone. With the grace of Allah, Albanians are now turning in large numbers towards Ahmadiyyat. Now this is good. Of course it is good, but from another angle of vision. It's good because people spread the propaganda against Ahmadiyyat that they are helping the Bosnians just for the sake of converting them. And they are spending billions of dollars, as of course they always tell lies, having received the money from Israel or some other government and this and that, and only for the purpose of converting them. They have no other interest. So now Albanians have started entering Ahmadiyyat in even larger numbers. Sorry. That's a counter argument with us, that who spent what on Albanians and what for? So we didn't give anything of aid to Albania or Albanian people living outside Albania, yet they are turning to Ahmadiyyat in even larger numbers. And if there are 12,000 or more of Bosnians, there are 17,000 or more of Albanians who have joined Ahmadiyyat recently. MashaAllah. So they also met me in Germany when I went to Germany this month earlier, and they were so fully charged with the message. They were determined to invite me to Albania with sessions even bigger than the Jamaat Germany sessions. So things are happening. It's happening upstairs, above. And what you hear is the resonance of what's happening above. Okay, next please. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. I have a two-part question. The first part is about the statement that I've heard in some books regarding the status of...
State you heard in a book?
Well, I read in a book.
You might have read it, maybe. Yes, okay.
In which they mentioned that Hazrat Isa alayhi salam was an Essene and a member of the Essene sect. And I wanted to know what our position was on that, the Ahmadiyya Jamaat's position. And then...
You see, Hazrat Yahya, this is the first part. Let me finish with it and then you come to the second one. Hazrat Yahya alayhi salam, Hazrat John the Baptist, was a leader of the Essene community. And it is known, I doubt if any Christian would debate this, that Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam got baptized at his hand. He built a community around River Jordan, and those who accepted him as prophet of God, they were baptized despite the fact that they were originally from Jewish stock. So from that I understand that every prophet creates a sort of community within that larger community, and baptism was the sign of following him. Even we read in accounts that one Ethiopian, one other grown-up, 3 persons got baptized, and they were dipped in the water, flowing river water. So what baptism really stands for is ghusl, as we have in Islam. when you want to cleanse yourself of sins, as an outward symbol, as a physical symbol, you take a thorough bath. And that is what baptism stands for, and it stood for earlier. Later on, with the changing of times, people, try to do away with the difficult part of ceremonies and want to retain only symbolic ends. So that is why just the sprinkling of water, became baptism, the sign of baptism. Now it is known about Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, that he got baptized at the hand of John the Baptist. And that is why he was mentioned in the Old Testament as the one who would lead to Jesus. He was the pre-runner of Jesus Christ. That is the same St. John who was referred to by Jesus when inquired about Eliah, where he had disappeared. Some of the Jewish scholars used to taunt Christians about Eliah's second appearance. He is pronounced in some countries or some languages Elijah, and in some Elia, and in some languages Elias. He's the same person, a well-established prophet of God, the son of Zachariah, as you know. So he came, of course, but not the person who was mentioned by the Bible to appear before the coming of Jesus Christ. And what was the name of that? I'm sorry, I'm talking. I say Elijah, Eli or Elijah was John the Baptist, all right. But in the Bible, he was mentioned as Elijah or Elia, or Elias as we know in Islam. So when Jewish elders taunted Christians, some of them referred the matter to Jesus Christ and inquired from him as to what position they should take against the enemies who mocked and jeered at the issue of Elijah. And they said it is very clearly written in the Old Testament that Elijah got carried into heaven sitting on his chariot, and as such he would return sitting on the same chariot physically and bodily. Now when John the Baptist baptized Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, he left behind an able deputy which was to grow even higher than he himself. So he practically worked as an usherer, as an opener of a door. And that is why when the matter was referred to Jesus Christ, he said, not naming it but indicating him, he was the Elia who was to descend from heaven. Believe it or not, it's up to you. It was a very simple but very profound answer. In fact, he has solved the riddle of all religious enigmas relating to some old personages returning to this earth. It always happens like this. There is no change whatsoever. So Jesus Christ, in his profound wisdom, pointed out that he is the Elia, reborn here on earth. If you are expecting an Elijah from heaven, then forget about it. You may die, your future generations may die, and such a thing would never happen. This was the verdict. But unfortunately, his verdict was completely ignored and forgotten by his own followers.